Why do you complain too much? What is the proper balance between complaining, expressing your emotions, and actually solving the problem you have on hand? In this video, I'm going to talk about the balance between solving your problems and expressing your emotions. But before that, I'm going to tell you a story about that. So a few weeks ago, I got a mail from my loan provider saying that the address that they have on record and the address that's listed on the insurance document do not match. So I do the first thing and call up my insurance provider. Yeah, and lo and behold, the insurance does not match. And I call them to ask, hey, can I just simply change the address listed on the insurance document? And they say, no, you can't. I basically had to do the whole process again and change as if I had a new document, a new insurance document. So as you can imagine, there's a huge process. I have to get a reappraisal. I have to get my roof changed too, because apparently my roof is too old, and all of these things. So with that information, now I went to my loan provider and asked them, is there anything I can do to amend the situation? Because if not, I'd have to get an insurance. I probably will have to pay more, and the terms are probably not as ideal as the something as I changed and picked for myself. So in my head, I keep thinking, why didn't I just fix this in the beginning? I almost was negotiating with someone in my head that was imaginary. I was negotiating and bargaining and thinking, why can't they just change it? Why do I have to do this whole thing? All of these whys, why not this, why not that? So I felt a lot of frustration and annoyance because there's just a lot of headache, really. I know the irony is I'm expressing this to you, the viewer, without actually having to fix the problem, but that's for another thing. So during this whole time, I felt all these different emotions, namely negative ones. I had an urge to message my friend and just tell him about this whole story. And I guess I wanted some sympathy or maybe some empathy of just seeing that someone else can see my pain, my struggle, the things I was going through. But a part of me also held back. And I thought to myself, okay, once I'm able to express my emotions and vent, complain and whatnot, will my problem be solved? Will the address be fixed? No, only it's on me to change and fix the problem, or I'd have to bear the consequences. Problems in real life don't really care about how I feel, how my emotions arise, how much annoyance I feel. At the end of the day, the address has to be fixed, or I pay the consequence of them having to pay an insurance for my behalf. So I just stopped myself. I thought, that won't solve my problem. I won't have my problem solved if I just complain. Sure, I might feel some relief that, hey, someone sees me, someone sees my problem, but it's almost like a band-aid solution and a very short-term one, because all of that complaining and venting will not make me go closer to the goal that I have. Honestly, if anything, I would argue that talking about a specific problem, and namely not just expressing yourself, but complaining about it redundantly, incessantly, on and on. I'm sure you've had a friend or family member talk about something that they're dealing with, but sure, it's okay to listen to them and have them let themselves express themselves, their emotions, what they're feeling. They're going through a hard time. Sure, maybe the first time, it's fine. Everyone has a deep need to be seen, to be understood. That's for me what expressing your emotions are. But it goes into the territory of complaining when you hear someone talk about the same thing all over again and again and again. And my argument is complaining about something not only puts you back, it detracts you from getting the goal, because it gives you this feeling that, hey, I'm doing something regarding this problem that I have. But the only thing that will really solve the problem that you have is to actually see what gets it solved. For my example, I had to make sure that the insurance company and the loan provider's addresses matched. That was it. Talking about it, complaining about it, venting about it would not do anything really. Sure, it would make me feel a little bit better in the short term, and that will make me more relieved. Fine. But the problem at the end of the day still stands. So what I decided to do was just absorb what was happening, absorb all the information, list down all the things I had to do to get it done, and just stop there. Because I know if I complained more, that would detract me from doing the things I had to do. It was almost as if I was talking about a problem and just making it even bigger in my head. Because for me to talk about a specific thing, especially negative ones, I would almost have to relive the experiences, the emotions that I feel. I feel a lot of different things. Let's, for example, frustration, anger, irritation, annoyance, all of those different things. And the more I say about it, the more I talk about it, the more attention I give to it, the more it's real. And maybe another example, you're in a dark house and you hear a strange noise coming from somewhere, and you might just think it's the wind or whatnot. But the more attention that you think that it might be a ghost or some supernatural thing, the more likely you'll think it's a ghost. But if you just don't give it any attention, it won't be that bad. Expressing your emotions is fine, but getting to that territory of complaining is when you keep talking about a specific thing without the specific action or plan that you have to do afterwards. Some people, I think, and that's definitely a projection from my part, they would just talk about things and talk about it and talk about it without actually doing anything to service that goal. And I think that's something that's a big balance too. You can't just be a robot and execute all of your problems and your solutions. That's not really a life to be lived when you're too logical and all about solutions. But at the same time, on the other end of the spectrum, you can't just be always feeling things and not handling things from a logical perspective. There's always going to be a balance involved, and usually people would have to do more of the logical things or more of the emotional and feeling into things. That's something that I urge you to do. Are you typically more emotional when it comes to things? Or are you more logical when it comes to things? Do you think you need to be more emotional when it comes to other things? Or do you think you need to be more logical when it comes to things? And that's a difficult thing in having that right balance, because no one will really be able to tell how much more you need to be or not be, except for you, the person. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment and a like.